I am getting the red sign, which means we are live. Wow, this is going to be one of the last lives of 24. It's kind of crazy to think that this year went by already. I mean, there's parts of me that this year went by really fast and parts that it seemed like it drug a little bit. I don't know if any of you guys feel that way, but I definitely feel that way. I've been super busy here. Lots of fun always going on. You guys have been keeping us so busy, so thank you for that. But man, 24 is just about behind us. Pretty crazy. It's hard to believe that it's, I guess part of me is in denial and part of me is like, it's still 24. So maybe you feel the same way, or maybe you just think I'm crazy. Maybe it's a bit of both. Anyhow, this is the Kiesel Guitars Live. I'm Jeff. And today I'm going to talk about guitars and answer any questions you may have. If you're new to these lives, thank you for joining us. I have a deal of the live. I have my personal guitar, which I'm going to show off. And then I have a top for you guys. So if you want to grab the deal of the live or you want to grab the top, you just call 858 Guitars and talk to one of my guys and they will get you dialed in. What do you think I should do first, Brandon? Show off my guitar, show off the deal? What do you think?
Let's show your guitar.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this was, let me move this top over so I can kind of set it down. Is that good enough on the light or do you want me to pull it back?
Pull it back a little bit, please.
Okay.
There, that's better.
Let's get it like this. Okay. So this is a K series. This is the very first one of the final body shape of the K. This happens to be my guitar. This is an Arctic finish. And it's crazy to think this guitar was our 70th anniversary. So this is from 2016. But look at this shape. I mean, I think it's kind of timeless. You know, the way it looks. I think it's a really, really sexy looking guitar. And this is from 2016. It's been hanging on my wall at my house. Brought it in to show it off. Didn't even bother cleaning it, but here it is. My personal guitar, my K series. It's got a 7A master grade, of course, flame maple top, which is part of all the K series. It's got an Arctic finish, which you don't actually pay an upgrade on a K. So pretty crazy when you think about you're not paying an upgrade for this finish on a K series when we charge $800 for the finish itself. I love these Arctic finishes because of the binding look, you know, getting the same color binding that matches the center, and then kind of that grayed out side, matching the antique ash in the rear. 7-piece neck. Of course, you gotta have a matching headstock, and this one has, I don't know if you can zoom in on that, move my ugly face out of the way. This one's got like that grayed out binding look on the headstock, which I absolutely love. But yeah, K-Series. So that's my personal guitar. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's been a while since I've showed it off. And we've had a lot of requests lately to see some of my guitars. So I talked to the guys and they thought I should bring this one in. So here it is. A guitar that I've had since early 2016. I actually finished it up in 2015. And we debuted it at the NAMM show in 2016 for our 70th anniversary. And here it is. So pretty awesome. And we actually won Best in Show that year for the K-Series from Guitar Aficionado magazine. So that was pretty cool, you know, to win such a prestigious award. That came alongside winning Best in Show for the Aries as well. So we actually won 2 awards at NAMM 2016 out of, the 5 magazines that were giving out awards. So that was it's pretty special to be able to do that, come back from that show, with that recognition. So that was cool. I'm going to do the top. So this is going to work for a headless. This is a Buckeye top. This is one of my tops that I had from my Pick Your Top session. I just have one top today. It's only this one. $250 for this really rad Buckeye top. And it's going to go on a headless guitar. Or I believe we can get a headless Vader bass out of it too. So if you like this top, you're going to call my guys to grab it. $250 is going to grab that top. we got the deal of the live. I think we said $1,900. Brandon's trying to give away the farm over here.
As usual.
Poplar top, poplar burl top, swamp ash back. This is in an aquaburst finish. It's got abalone inlays, matching headstock. Let me pull it back so you guys can see it a little better. And this is our A2 model, which does get dual jacks. So you have the access jack on the back, and then you have your standard jack there. You know, if you want to do some recording and do 2 outputs, you can do that. It'll work together, or just each one you want. This is really handy for, you know, kind of like sitting there doing a little recording session. That way you don't have the jack kind of poking out and, you know, getting into your leg there. So we find that pretty handy there. Either that or even live with the wireless. Just kind of go wrap that behind your strap and tape your belt pack on your guitar. So pretty cool. Love this one, the way it looks. Got the GT headstock matching black hardware. And looks like medium jumbo frets on this one. And we have an ebony fretboard with a little bit of brown in it. I actually like that. It looks really cool. And this is our raw tone finish. If you don't know what that is, it's a very, very thin finish. And it's exactly what it sounds like. It's as far as the name, it's raw. So you get that raw, natural wood look. And then it enhances the tone. It's going to give you the most amount of natural mid-range that the wood's going to offer. When you do put, you know, primers and wood fillers and things like that on there, and colors and clears, you do tend to build a little bit of a shell, a thin shell around the wood, and it can make the wood a little brighter sounding. If you don't believe in that, that's totally fine. I'm not going to argue if you can't hear the difference, but if you were to record it on a computer, the computer would be able to see the difference. And a lot of people can hear the difference. So raw tone is a very cool look, and it gives you this really great sound and feel, this like textured feel, all while protecting the wood still too. So that's what's really nice about it. I haven't done a live Q&A besides selling tops for a while. So why don't I just jump right into questions and let's see what you guys want to know.
First question is on topic with that A2. They're asking, could you have 2 cables connected to 2 different amps?
Absolutely. Not a problem at all. Or you can have one to an amp and one to a plug-in on a computer while, you know, you're listening to it and then recording it at the same time, however you want to do it.
What's the difference between the Aries and the A2?
So there's quite a bit of difference. Number one is just the aesthetics overall. You know, the Aries is a little larger body. It is more of a traditional style guitar with a modern flair with that large bevel on it. And the A2, the idea was to take the very popular Aries, you know, the top side of it, alter the bevel a little bit, offset it with an extra bevel here, change this a little bit, and then shrink the bottom side. You can see how offset this is, where the Aries is just, you know, it comes, you know, in the bottom. It's like kind of straight across, if you will, where this dips way in, or maybe I should hold it like this. It really ramps back up. And when you hold it in a traditional position, it just has this very modern, ergonomic, cool look to it. It's a little lighter in weight. It also has the access jack on the back. It did get the curved neck heel before the Aries did. The Aries now has that. But that's going to be your main difference. The controls are slightly different. But everything else is, I mean, they're 2 great great selling models. They're great looking, I think. And I would just go with whatever one you like the looks of better. There's Aries people and A2 people. And that's why we didn't get rid of the Aries when we came out with the A2. It was, you know, 8 years of what we learned from making the Aries to try to make an even better, sleeker looking model. And it doesn't mean that what we made originally wasn't, you know, really awesome. So we kept the original as well.
Got a question from your son.
Uh-oh.
He's asking, who is your least favorite Star Wars character?
Oh, definitely C-3PO. Yeah, C-3PO, man. There's times where I want to jump through the screen and punch him.
He said a couple comments later, he said, I bet he's going to say C-3PO.
Oh, no doubt. I'll take Jar Jar over C-3PO. There's just something about 3PO. I'm like, nails on a chalkboard. If you guys don't know, I am a Star Wars fan. I do have some Star Wars tattoos, and I'm working on more. I got Boba Fett in there, and I'm going to put Han Solo in carbonite behind him, and actually the Sarlacc pit in my armpit. I have this armpit tattooed as well, my other side. So yeah, just always looking to show my appreciation for the franchise. But I'm doing my whole tattoo theme is New Hope, Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. Just those 3 original movies. It's not that I don't like other characters, but I just, obviously that's what hooked me as a kid, and I haven't been able to let it go. I mean, with models named after, Star Wars characters and Star Wars references, it's pretty easy to see that I'm a total nerd when it comes to Star Wars.
What humidity should a Kiesel be kept at?
Ideal humidity for really any guitar is going to be right around 50%. Yeah, that's what we shoot for here in the shop. We have a humidifier that kicks on in the summertime when it's drier out, or in the winter. Sometimes it'll actually get a little moist in here, and we'll run the AC. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but we'll run the AC, or even the heater can also help to dry the air out. It just depends on where it's at. And so we climate control to 50%. Your skin likes it too, to be right at about 50%. You don't get as dry.
What's your favorite metal flake you did in the last batch?
Ooh, they all have a very unique look. It's hard to pick a favorite just because the way each of the tops open up and the surrounding buckeye around that. I mean, it's really, really hard. They all look super awesome. I don't know. I mean, sometimes I think less is more on those, and other times I see a lot of the metal flaking, and I love it too. So they're really hard for me to pick, but they're fun for me to do, and I do batch them. I know we're selling some right now. I don't know what the count is. I haven't been keeping track. I hope we have not oversold already. I'll have to check into that. But we are selling the metal flake infused right now. I know we've sold several. I don't know what that number is at. It's probably going to be one of those things where it's a once-a-year thing. I just need to really batch them together because they are very, very labor-intensive. If I was to do one at a time, honestly, to make it worth it, I would probably have to triple my price just because it takes so much prep and setup. To only do 1 or 2 or 3, it's not worth it. There's so much work. And then there's time in between all the steps. There's a calculated amount of time that I have to wait. So even if I start on one right away, it takes me almost 3 weeks before I can turn it back in. And that's if I'm doing the steps every opportunity I get. Sometimes I get distracted, or an artist comes down, or I have another deadline, or fill in the blank, and then a week or 2 can be put in between the steps. So it's a very laborious thing, not just from the attention to detail, the cleanliness, but also the set time in between steps.
Can you pull up on the Hipshot Kiesel trim like you can on a Floyd Rose?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Did I miss the price on the guitar on the right?
You did, yeah. It's $1,900 with a case, and just pay for shipping.
Why isn't the Type X 8-string available with a trim?
Because we cannot fit the back plate on the back with the electronics cavity. They overlap each other, and it doesn't fit. I had someone ask that about 2 weeks ago, and because I've only been asked twice, I'm guessing you may have been the person that asked my salesman that.
No, someone asked in the group, then I asked you.
Oh,
is what the question was. It wasn't this guy.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jeffrey is asking, would it be possible to add a solid color perimeter burst to the builder?
That's a hard one. It's not that we couldn't do it, but I don't want a code for every single color. So in other words, it's like we have BST is like a black burst, right? It's like, do I have WST for a white burst, and so on and so forth. It's like, I don't want to create, 30 more codes and sell some of them only once a year. So we have to be mindful of our codes, and and, just not confusing people. It's easier for us just to have a special option on there that says, exactly what the customer wants. So just call in for something like that. There's no way we're ever going to be able to have our website take the exact order of everything you want. If you want, a lot of custom stuff. So it's best to call in sometimes.
What are the pickups and fretboard radius on the Deal of the Live?
Radius is going to be a 14, and pickups are lithiums.
Any plans on developing more non-wax potted pickups? Love the Holdsworths, and I'd like to see more voicings.
You're the first person to ever ask me that. So I would say I don't hate the idea, but I don't get asked that. So I think the Holdsworth does a great job filling the gap where it's needed. I don't know if it would make sense for us to have another voicing similar versus maybe something, kind of in between a beryllium and a lithium. Maybe would be something that'd be the next thing to go after. And we're not working on anything. I'm just saying if we were to create another pickup, it is hard too, because we have so many dynamics between, 6, 7, and 8 string, and even 9 string, and then standard and multi-scale and single coil and different pole pieces and magnets. I mean, we do a lot. When you think about what we do between making pickups, building all the necks, building all the bodies, doing everything in-house, all of our inlays. A lot of companies don't do this stuff, guys. They just don't. And it's just more things that we want to do to really be able to offer incredible value to you guys, right? And I feel like we do that, and it's kind of crazy at how much value we give. Sometimes to our own, fault, really.
We got Ty Jacobs in here.
What's up, Ty?
He says, I've recently acquired a secondhand Kiesel, but it has a gloss back of the neck. If I wanted to satin it, what would you use? I've seen wet sanding or steel wool.
Yeah, that's what I would recommend. I would just take the neck and I would just tape it off. I would find a fret, end here, and then maybe go up 1 or 2 frets on the other end, just get that nice angle, and tape it off really good. Put a couple layers of tape on there, and then tape everything off really good, because as you're with that sander, you don't want to get your finish. And then what I would start with is lighter, and then go coarser and coarser if it doesn't feel good enough. Start with 4/0 steel wool. Go with that, and with steel wool, it's going to want to get all over your pickups and all over the entire finish. So if there's a way to even bag the guitar and then tape it, or tape it, bag it, and tape it again, that would probably be the best. Use that steel wool, obviously remove your tuners and stuff, protect your head plate. See how that feels. And if that's not good enough, then I would go down with Scotch-Brite. Right? You could go to like a gray pad. If that's not enough, go to a red pad and so forth. But you could even go to like 1,000 grit sandpaper, 600 grit sandpaper, anything like that. So start with 4/0 steel wool, gray pad, red pad, 600 grit probably. And I don't think you're going to want coarser than 600 grit. Just blow it off real good and enjoy.
John is asking, how should I clean a bloodwood fretboard? Does it need to be conditioned periodically?
You're going to treat it like rosewood. Just, check out rosewood care videos. But yeah, that would be the best method on that.
Any chance of the Type X bass coming to the builder?
No, I really don't see that. I mean, I get people that'll buy about 5 of them a year, and for us to invest the time to put it into the builder, I mean, I really need to have quantities of like 50 a year, and I just don't see that ever selling 50 a year, and getting into quantities, we are going to have some models that are going to go away for 25. That's just par for the course, and I'm sure people are going to be upset, but be upset at yourselves. I didn't discontinue it. You guys did by not buying it. So I do have, it's no different than any year. I'm going to have some stuff that's going to have to go away. The more models we have, the less efficient we are. So having less sometimes is better. It's definitely better for us. Maybe it's not better for you guys in some cases, but when I look at everything that I'm discontinuing, it doesn't even represent 100 instruments sold in a whole entire year. And at a company that sells 4,000 instruments, I'm going to have people like thinking we're the worst, but I'm discontinuing less than 100 sales from 24. Less than 100. And it's literally hundreds and hundreds of programs to equal that. It was 81 was actually the number of instruments we sold of the products I'm discontinuing.
Here's a technical question from Leon Brown. He's asking, necks built with multiple pieces of timber are always an odd number of laminates. Why is that better than an even number of laminates?
I don't know that it's better per se. I just think cosmetically it looks better, at least in my opinion. I don't know what other companies do. I'm assuming they probably do odd numbers as well, but we do odd because it just looks aesthetically pleasing. You start in the center and then work your way out, and you have symmetry versus, I don't know, I just wouldn't want to see a line like right in the middle, and then trying to go out from there, I guess. Even strength-wise, I don't think that would be ideal. Your truss rod's right in the center, right? And you're going to be trying to put pressure on that glue seam. So that's probably an even, right, structurally a more logical reason. It's not something I've ever really thought about. It just seems so natural to me to have 3, 5, or 7 pieces, or a single piece, obviously. But not a bad question. I've never been asked that, and I haven't even really thought about that myself. So good thinking, man.
What's your most popular instrument sold, and what's your least favorite?
Well, I'm not going to do the least favorite thing, but my most popular instrument sold is the Aries series. Yeah, the A2. That's my most popular.
All right, we got John Gamrat in here. He
John
says,
Gamrat.
Jeff, will you offer a last call for any models being discontinued?
I don't know, to be honest, John. I don't know on that. I can tell you this, that our deal. Anything, once it is discontinued, it's prepaid and no return, which I know is not a problem with you, John, but that's just how it goes. So I don't know if I'm going to offer a last call or not. There will be a point in time where I won't offer a last call. Is this the year? Maybe some models we do a last call because they were close, and other models, like, it wasn't even close and they're just no last call. So I would say a mix. How about that? We'll go mix this year. It's official.
Will we ever see a headstocked Zeus?
Oh, I don't know about that. I guess I don't understand why. I think the appeal, obviously, of a headless guitar is just the small, compact, lightweight size. It's either people want like what feels like a guitar with a headstock, or people want something smaller that's a headless. It doesn't seem like there's a big market for a small body with a headstock. I could be wrong, but that's just my opinion, I guess.
If you were to design an anti-neck dive bass, what model and woods would you choose?
Well, a lot of our basses are going to have no neck dive, right? The majority of them, really. Even when I think of probably the only one that I would be concerned with saying that it doesn't have any would be the solo bass, which is the Aaron Patrick series. It's a single cut. It's going to have some neck dive, right? Unless it's a headless, like the Zeus. The Zeus is really good. There's no neck dive on that. So really all of our basses you're not going to struggle with. If you want the bass that's going to, in my opinion, look the sexiest, feel the best on your body, and have the most amount of options, I would go with the A2 bass. Balance-wise, it is amazing. That horn is way out there. We offer that in 4, 5, and 6 string. I think 6 strings multi-scale only now, but 4 and 5 standard, 4, 5, and 6 multi-scale. We have 2 multi-scale lengths in 5 string. It's a very versatile bass. The tritium pickups sound phenomenal. They will do any kind of sound. They can do really rad single coil, vintage. They can get the very modern. They can do country western. They can do reggae. And then we all have really cool effects. We all have really cool preamps and pedals and things that you guys can put in line. So you can really do anything with that bass. I think that's probably our most versatile bass. It's very lightweight. You can't go wrong. Alder body, no problem. Swamp Ash, a little more low end, a little lighter weight, still no problem on balance. That's my favorite bass by far that we have. We'll see if we ever outdo that thing.
Landon is asking, on the note of discontinued models, if you were to pre-sell 50 X220 models, would you do a limited run?
I did a limited run of X220s. I'm trying to remember what year that was. I want to say that was 15, I think. And the model, it sold. It didn't sell like crazy. I feel like we're a different company now than we were in 2016. You never know. We did a throwback on the Holdsworth Fat Boy this year, and it did amazing. So could we see some throwbacks? I think that's probably the answer, is in the future, just taking a model and resurrecting it, maybe making a few tweaks to it to update some things while still keeping good with the looks and aesthetics and the, nostalgia of the model. So I think we could see some of that. Maybe we could do a model every couple of years. Who knows? But we can't add models that, sell two a year. I mean, we're not a company that's selling 100 instruments in a year. Obviously, if you were selling 100 and, you wouldn't want to discontinue a model you sold 5 of, it's 5% of your sales, but, we're in a different, area, and what keeps us affordable is our efficiency, right? Because we're using the best woods that anybody can buy. We're using the same hardware or better than most companies, right? Our pickups sound amazing, or you can send your own in. And we've been doing this so long. We have so much expertise. Our finishes, you see how great they look. Now, maybe you don't like one of our shapes, and there's nothing I can do about that. But I feel like our guitars are super comfortable. And then you look at the price, and you're like, it's almost unbelievable. And that's going to have to change at some point. I mean, as, the economy, inflation, costs, everything, I mean, we feel it too. So obviously, and I held the prices this year. I didn't have my mid-year price increase, but I don't think I can do that stuff anymore. It just really affects our bottom line.
How many employees does Kiesel have?
I don't know at the moment. Our peak, we had 61, and recently we've had a couple people that we've lost. I think 3 people total we've lost. One person had a family, medical problem, a longtime employee. Another person had to leave the state. It's getting expensive here. And then someone else just, wanted to do something different. And we haven't replaced them yet. We were running ads. We're looking for people. So I think we're at 56 people, and we are running ads. So if you're local, please come in and apply. I saw them interview a couple people today. But yeah, we need great craftsmen and women here to make these guitars the best they possibly can be. And we don't settle either. Like, we're not going to just put a body in the seat just to have that person there. We're going to find the right person and train them, and hopefully they work out in their long term. That's what we always shoot for.
Mike says, I joined the live late. Are those some of your personal guitars behind you?
Behind me, some of them are, yeah, like this one here, Koa Angel. These two right here, the DC is a Venom finish. It's a DC 700 with a blue denim fretboard. That's from 2014. Man, I mean, and look at this, from 2014. I mean, look at Look how great this looks from 2014. Is that okay, Brandon? Or?
Yep, looks great.
Okay.
You're good.
And look at this, 2014. It's nuts. You know, it's still just like, if I wouldn't have told you it's from 2014, you wouldn't have guessed that we were doing this look, you know, and doing it, I think, so well, you know, almost 11 years ago now. It's crazy. Gold frets. That was one of the very first instruments to be branded with the Kiesel logo. That was when we were still carving, and I did have them swap the tuners, the backs of the tuners to say Kiesel, but yeah, it's crazy. Such a rad guitar.
And two different people are asking any chance of a headless A2.
A headless A2. I mean, the closest thing you're going to get, we have an Osiris model. That model does really well for us. It's a bolt-on, and then if you wanted a neck through, we have the Vader, you know, along those types of lines, something with bevels and double cut.
Just got here. What last call are you talking about?
Oh, I'm not telling anybody what my last call is. Yeah, we are going to be discontinuing some models, and it's just going to be a hard line. Like, there's no, oh, but if I would have known. And there will be some that will truly be gone. You will not be able to get. And there will be some that we will do a last call, a couple weeks, prepaid, no returns. Because obviously, once we discontinue something, I'm not going to build it and give a 10-day trial period. So, yeah. And we also won't be doing any custom programming, right? Like, oh, well, you don't offer it with this, but can I pay a programming fee? It's like, for a model I'm discontinuing, no, there's no program charges. There's not going to be any, like, anything beyond, like, custom paint and things like that. Of course, we can still do, but I'm not going to do custom pickup configurations or, oh, I'll buy it if you fill in the blank. If you go 24 3/4 scale and put binding on it and throw P90s in it, or, you know, and put this Kaler tremolo on it. It's like, oh, geez, you know. So we won't be doing anything like that.
All right, we're just past 30 minutes. You want to do speed questions?
Yeah, let's do speed questions. Let's go for a few speed questions. So in this portion, I still love you. I still think you're awesome. I'm just going to answer your question, hopefully with a one-word answer. I'm going to try to restrain. So if that one-word answer doesn't quite answer your question, don't feel disrespected. I mean no disrespect. I'm just trying to get through as many as I can and have a good time.
Besides Star Wars, what would be a cool movie or show to base a guitar off of?
I don't know. I can't think of anything. Sorry.
Paul King is asking, I'd love to see an A2 with a longer scaling than 27. Would this be possible in the future?
What's up, Paul? Maybe.
Are most of your employees based in San Diego?
All that come in every day.
Any ergonomic HSS guitars?
Yes.
Dang,
it's speed questions only if the
bunch
person
of comments. Here we go. If we send pickups, will you guys install pots as well?
Maybe. Call.
Are any of the discontinued models headless?
No comment.
What are your thoughts on kill switches and sustainers?
I like kill switches a lot.
Can we get a double headless gig bag?
Probably not.
Can we order a raw tone Tim Miller?
Yes. Call my guys.
Swirl run next year?
Oh, I have no clue. I thought I'd do one this year and I didn't.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Ooh. Yes, because I like to use peanut butter and jelly on a hot dog bun because it dips in a cup of milk better. Sorry, that's not a one word, but that was very important to get that one out.
What do you want for Christmas?
My family to be healthy and happy. And my whole family, like shop, everybody.
Favorite Mexican food?
Carne asada burritos. No pico.
Can I come to the shop and pick woods for my next build with Flock?
Kiesel experience. Ask him about it. Yes.
Any chance of candy finishes being added to the builder?
Probably not.
Can we get a neck through Osiris?
Nope.
Can we please get a Spurzle tuner option?
No. That's a long story. Lots of past issues there. No. Sorry, Spurzle.
If I send in a kill switch, would Kiesel install it in place of a tone knob?
Yes, for a fee.
Are painted tritium pickups an option?
They are.
Monster burst or reverse monster burst?
Totally depends on the woods and body wood.
Can I order a new nut for my Vader from you guys?
You can.
Any plans in 2025 for new base models?
2025 is a long way away from the end. I have no idea. You have to wait and see.
Can you send me a California burrito from Alberto's with my next build?
That sour cream be ranked by the time it gets there. All right, I think that's all the time we have today. Thank you all for hanging out and joining us for this live. Appreciate all of you. We do this for you guys, right? I mean, we have a hell of a time doing it. Trust me, we do have fun here. But we do it for you guys. And we're always looking at reinvesting back into the company. I've been working on an additional Haas CNC machine. We were going to sign the contracts today, but they had to update some things. So Haas was out here, a team from Haas, and Haas is a high-end CNC company. And so we're looking at adding a 5-axis machine to our amazing machine lineup. It's a hefty cost to us, but it's something we're looking at doing. And we would have signed the contract today, but again, they had to update it. So we'll be getting a 5-axis machine to just be able to improve upon an already amazing product. We're just really committed to you guys and building these things, not just great, but as consistent as they possibly can be, like with as little variance. And that 5-axis is going to give us that ability to. I'm really excited about the future and being able to do that. And it's going to be a lot of programming time and a lot of, probably hair pulling out for my programmer. But it's going to be amazing. And it's, giving back to you guys. So thank you for allowing us to be in the opportunity to always invest back into our company and build this brand, and build this product better than ever. I'm excited for 2025. 2024 has been a great year. Thank you all for the support. Do we have another live, Brandon? And are we going to, am I here next week? Yes, I think I am. And then the following week is Christmas, right? It's on a Wednesday. So We will only have one more live next week, it looks like. So join us for that. And if I don't see you, hopefully you have a great holiday season. And if you need anything, as always, call my guys. I'm out.